Yo, welcome to this week's at-home bodyweight based series. Last week I went through 3 training sessions where we're using one piece of equipment, which was the kettlebell. This week I'm just going to be using bodyweight. I'm going to show you how simple it is to put together a training session. Today I did a strength-based session. I chose 8 exercises, 2 exercises in each category of lower body, upper body push, upper body pull, and core. So my exercises today were the Sissy squat, a glute bridge for the lower body. For the upper body push, I did handstand push-ups and archer push-ups. For upper body pull, I did towel rows and some Y to W's. Then for the core, I did some RKC planks and some lateral crunches. Alright, so 3 sets of 10 reps. We're looking at somewhere between 6 to 12 reps for each one of these exercises with a minute's rest. Now, bodyweight based movements, slow the reps down, really focus on mind-muscle connection, squeeze the fuck out of those muscles. Alright, the goal is to contract those muscles as hard as possible. Think about gymnasts who do a lot of bodyweight based work on rings and things like that. Alright, super strong, super jacked. That's what we're looking at doing, creating as much tension through the target muscles as possible, okay? Make no weight or body weight feel really difficult. Alright, as I go through and demonstrate these movements that I did today, I'll also give alternatives for you guys to do at home depending on your skill level, your fitness levels, your capabilities. Let's have a look. My first exercise was a Sissy squat, which is an excellent movement, bodyweight based movement for targeting the quads in particular. Alright, very difficult, slow the reps down, make sure you maintain control, don't bounce out of that bottom position, otherwise you might cause some issues with any pre-existing knee injuries. Alright, so I'm going to use the bar here, the railing, for a little bit of support. My lower body does most of the work, upper body supports as needed. Feet hip width, so to come down, drive the knees forward whilst keeping the hips extended. Arm is here for support as needed. Alright, another option for this one is drive onto the balls of the feet, heels come off the ground, then shift your hips forward, straight line, knees through to shoulders, press back up if you can. That's one option. Another option, eccentric, control it down, drop back, stand up. That is the Sissy squat. My next exercise is the glute bridge. Glute bridge, excellent exercise for developing strength and stability through posterior chain, looking primarily at our hip extensors being glutes and hamstrings as hip extensors and knee flexors. Alright, one of those exercises that I typically see done wrong, however, people are driving the belly button towards the ceiling and they're just creating this massive arch of the lumbar spine. So the hip flexors actually taking the load of the hips to stabilize the pelvis, and the lumbar erectors are having to work super hard to try and get in that position. What we want to do is create hip extension where we tuck the tailbone under, squeeze the fuck out of the glutes, and then drag our heels in so we can fire up our hamstrings. This is what that's going to look like. I'm down, I bring my heels in, close to my backside, about hip width, hips, knees, ankles, all aligned from here. Press the belly button in towards the spine, lower back, flattens. Now my abs are on. Now what I'm going to do is drive the hips up, maintain tension in the abs. Now my glutes are on. In this top position, I'll pull my heels towards my shoulders. Squeeze the fuck out of that, nice and slow. Maintain tension. 2, 3. You can see that I'm shaking in that top position. Keep the abs tight, drive the hips high, fire the glutes, then boom. Work through the hamstrings, pull those heels towards the shoulders. Good to go. My next category is my upper body push. So I've got a vertical push. I use handstand push-ups. You can do a handstand hold or some form of hand balance, which I'll explain in a moment. Or you can also do a vertical push down where you use a chair, use a railing, use a bed, whatever you have access to go through dips. Again, move slow, controlled, mind-muscle connection, squeeze the fuck out of those muscles, make bodyweight movements feel difficult. Let's have a look at the handstand. Now, again, 6 to 12 reps here. All right, I've only got about 6 to 8 really strict handstand push-ups. I'm not going to focus on kipping push-ups. I'm not practicing skill today. I'm practicing strength. All right, so slow, squeeze, tension-based movements. So you can do handstand push-ups or you can do a handstand hold. If you're doing a handstand hold looking at 20 to 40 seconds, okay, another option here is another isometric hold. We can look at a crow pose. Those are our hand balances. Another option is our dips, like so. If you have wrist concerns, keep your wrists locked out rather than cocking, like so. You can go here, keep the hips close, shoulders away from the ears. Nice and slow. Pause in that bottom position, drive it up. In this top position, squeeze everything nice and tense. Hands can also go on the outside here so we can maintain. A nice locked wrist, take some strain off the wrist. So there's my vertical push options. My horizontal push options are any push-up variation. So I did archer push-ups today. This is what we're looking at here. Again, 6 to 12 reps. I take my hands nice and wide, fingers face out. From here, my chest pushes across to my wrist. Opposite arm, stay straight. Cross to the other side. 2, 3, 4. Alright, so there's archer push-ups as an option. Any push-up variation here is going to be good to go. You can do normal push-ups, you can do staggered push-ups, you can do close grip push-ups, you can use that seat to do incline push-ups. Choose an option that's suitable for you. My next category of movements was my upper body pull. So I went through some towel rows, then into some YSWs. All right, let's have a look at the towel rows first. So you can set up your towel using a door, using a railing, using a partner, whatever you've got available. All right, use your imagination, hook it up to something. What I'm going to do here is grab the ends of the towel. I've wrapped it up, tighten my hands, I walk my feet forward, anchor myself against something hard. Lock the core in, straight line, ankles through to shoulders, active shoulders, chest through. From here, core's tight, and I'm going to drag my wrists towards my lower ribs. Nice and slow. Squeezing through the back. To make that a little bit harder, change your torso angle. To make it easier, change your torso angle. All right, so those are my rows. Next exercise was my YWs. So that was a horizontal pull. Now we're going vertical pull. We want to replicate the pull up or some form of pull down here. I'm going to get into a loaded position with my hips, just like a bent over row or Romanian deadlift. From here, my arms straight. I want straight line, wrist through to hips via the shoulders. Then what I'm going to do, this is a Y position. I want to be active here, pulling the shoulder blades down and back, firing all those muscles through the back. Then what I'm going to do is drag my elbows down as if I'm doing a pull-up where my chest comes through to the bar. Remaining active, pulling through the muscles of the back. So I'm active here, squeeze, squeeze, and flex, touch. 1, squeeze, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so the goal there is to generate tension through that entire posterior chain of the upper body. Boom, all those muscles you can't see in the mirror, get them fired up, get them flexed, get them tense. My last category is my core based work. So first exercise, I'm looking at an RKC plank. With the RKC plank, the goal is to generate as much tension as you can through the entire chain. Squeeze the fuck out of all those muscles in the body. Okay, if you can hold a plank for longer than a minute, you're not doing it correctly. I'm looking at 20 to 40 seconds here, averaging about 30 seconds. But in that 30 seconds, I'm really struggling to hold that position. I'm literally shaking throughout the entire time. All right, so the RKC plank, I demonstrate this and explain this in a lot more detail in one of my other YouTube videos, so go and have a look for that, okay? But essentially what we want to do is get into a plank position, tuck the tailbone under, fire my abs, squeeze my legs together, fire my glutes. Then I'm going to try and pull my elbows and my toes towards each other. Squeeze everything as hard as you can. Let's have a look. Feet together. Tuck the tailbone under, squeeze the abs, squeeze the legs, and squeeze the elbows and toes together. That was like 10 seconds and that cooked me, all right? If you can do that for longer than a minute, you're not doing it right. The second exercise for my core was my lateral crunches, all right? So I want to get down into a glute bridge position. Like so, feet hip width, hips, knees, ankles are aligned. From here, same as before. Pull the belly button towards the spine. Lower back is flat on the ground. Hips slightly come off the ground so that I can't use momentum here. Then, hands go across the shoulders. Shoulder blades come off the ground. Now, I'm tight. I want to keep that tension. Now, I'm going to pull my right shoulder towards my left hip. Transition across. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You shouldn't be getting that much movement there. All right. All of that movement should literally be coming from the muscles of the abs and the obliques. All right. Lock it in. Create as much tension as you can. Don't use momentum. All right. I'm going to come across 1, squeeze, maintain tension across the other side. 2, 3. So for this one, we're doing double the amount of reps. So if we're doing 6 to 12, we're looking to get somewhere between 12 and 24 reps there total. So 6 to 12 each side. All right. That is today's strength-based workout using body weight only. Next training session is going to be all about stability and skill development using body weight only. Final session on Friday is going to be focused on body weight only conditioning session. Stay tuned, guys.